Hey, what's up and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you the 3 best, in my opinion, apps which help you improve your skills in music theory. I will not talk about if you should learn music theory, I will cover that in a completely different video later on. But if you are like me and you're learning music theory together with your instrument, then maybe you're doing it the same way as I do, reading books with a lot of scales, chords, intervals, recognizing that, and maybe you have the same feeling as I do. Once in a while it gets a bit boring. I was looking for new ways to improve my music theory skills, and I found these apps which I'm going to show you right now. But first, let me know, do you learn music theory? And if you do, how are you doing it? Do you use apps, or are you still learning with a book, or do you have a completely different approach? Let me know in the comments below. The first app I'm going to show you is called The Perfect Ear, and the name already suggests it, it's about ear training. You can use this app for recognizing intervals, chords, scales, and recognizing rhythms as well. So when you start the app, the first thing you can do in the settings menu is choose your own instrument. You can choose between the guitar, the violin, or a piano. So depending on which instrument you are playing, you can use this already to your advantage. Furthermore, you can choose the BPM setting for the metronome. So depending on how advanced you are, you can choose a higher tempo or going to a lower tempo. And you can choose the names of the notes. Fun fact here, in Germany we don't use the note B. In Germany it's called H, for whatever reason. So whenever you're reading an H somewhere, then you know this is German notation. And once you're inside the app, you can start with the first part, the interval exercises. You have a theory part at the beginning which explains all the terms and what you can do with this app. And then you go directly into the first exercise. Let's take the interval comparison. So we have the comparison of major and minor seconds. You can see I chose the guitar fretboard as my comparison line. And it's asking me which interval is larger, so maybe you heard it, it was the second one. And you get points for every right recognized interval. And as you can see, as I scroll down, you have nearly every interval there is. And you can even choose up your own custom intervals and create them for you. So if you need to learn specific intervals and create exercises for that, you can do that in the app as well. So the next part in this area would be the interval identification. We're taking the exercises of unison and seconds. And it's asking me what interval that was. Was it a minor second, a major second, or unison? I would say this was a minor second. I was wrong. And now you can see the app tells you, okay, you did that wrong, but you can continue with the exercises, and at the end you get an overall score and can continue the exercise if you want to have a full 100% score. Then we can continue to the scale exercises. Here you have a theory part at the beginning as well, and the next thing is scale identification. You can start with the easy ones, natural, minor, and major. So it's playing a scale. I would say that was a natural major scale, and I was right. This is a great exercise for recognizing specific scales, and you can combine these exercises with your instrument as well and replay the same scales so that you can hear them on your own instrument and even train your fingers to replay these scales. And the last part in this area are the chord exercises. Again, a theory part at the beginning, and then you can identify chords. We start with minor and major triads. So I would say this was a minor chord, and I was right. Again, here you have a lot of different chord options already to choose from the menu, but you can create your own chords or your own custom chord identification exercises to use them in your specific music training. The next part of the app is the rhythm area, and here you can train your understanding of rhythm, replaying rhythms, and understanding the quantity of notes. So the app or the part I'm using is the rhythm tapping. So I will start with a more easy one, half, quarter, and an eighth note. So as you could see, the app shows you different quantity of notes and is giving you a basic metronome rhythm, and you have to tap the notes on the right click. At first this is pretty easy, so the half, a quarter, and eighth notes are easy. So later on you got dotted notes, 16th notes, and so on. Again, you can create your own custom exercises if you need to train a specific rhythm, maybe from a song you want to learn and you have problems understanding that specific rhythm. Just put it in here and then you can tap it all along until you get it right in your head and in your hand. The second app I'm showing you is the music reading trainer, and its only purpose is to help you improve on sight reading. You have a lot of different options. You can customize your exercises here as well, but we're going with the basic exercises from the app. We start with the classic mode, and you got different levels of complexity. So you start with just a few notes, and as you progress in the app, then you get more and more notes to recognize. When we start with level 1, we got the treble clef and just a few notes. So we start with G on the second line and C on the third space, and now you have to tap the notes you're seeing. So we got C, C, G, C, 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 G. I think you get the point. And as you progress further, the more and more notes will appear on that screen, and you have to tap the right note. Once you got the basic part in the app, then you can go to the arcade game mode, which is a really fun way to see if you really learned all the notes on the scale. And you can start with the treble clef, and this is an ongoing arcade game mode. And this is time based, so as soon as you hit the first note, then the timer will set down and you have to hit the next note and the next note, and altogether you are allowed 3 strikes. So if you hit 3 notes wrong, then the arcade game will end, and you can improve your high score every time you're doing that app. So I think it's a great way to learn sight reading, first to understand the basics and start with the easy, the treble one, then you can go to the bass clef, and they have even the more advanced clefs for different instruments if you need them. So this is an app made for all musicians, not only guitar players or piano players. The last app I'm going to show you is mainly made for guitar players, so sorry for all of you who are watching or playing piano, but maybe you can use the app as well. And this app doesn't have the arcade game mode or any game mode at all. This is more like a big library for you in your pocket if you want to learn guitar, because you got everything in it: chords, scales, arpeggios. So when you open the app, then you are in the main menu, and then you can choose from the different options. So let's say you want to learn specific chords. You open the chord menu, and now you have a kind of filter you can use, and then you can choose the root note of the chord, let's say C. Now at the bottom of the app, then you can see the specific chord diagram for your guitar. So this is the basic chord, a C major chord in the first frets of the guitar. Now let's say I want to have a diminished C chords, and now you can see at the bottom part where you have to put your fingers. The next part is you got scales and scale names, so you can choose from different scales, and you already have a visual on your fretboard where the notes of this scale are. So this is really, really great if you are learning a new scale to see where are the notes. This is a great way to pair this together with sight reading or with the basics of music theory, and to see where the notes are. And you can already take that and learn it already on your instrument and have all the notes ready on the fretboard. Furthermore, you can use this app as a personal songbook. So let's say you're somewhere around playing with your guitar, or you have specific melody in mind, then you can write that down in the app with the specific chords and tweak it around and see, okay, maybe I want to add this chord or that chord, and see what sounds better. You got the circle of fifth, so you can see which chords go together. Overall, it's a really great app as a pocket library for a guitar player. You got everything you need on the go if you need a specific scale, chord names, arpeggios or whatever, or if you just want to practice, and you can write down every idea you have. Okay, so these were my top 3 apps for learning music theory. Okay, the last one wasn't maybe about directly learning music theory, but using everything about music theory to your advantage as a guitar player. And what I think is great about learning music theory with an app instead of learning it with a book or directly on the instrument is there's a small psychological effect with it, which is called the instant gratification. So when you're doing these trainings like the interval trainer and you recognize the intervals right, then the app will tell you you did great, you get a new high score, and this keeps you on going to learn, to improve, and you want to keep going, you want to maybe improve your high score, do better on the next time, and you have this kind of competition inside you that you want to perform better the next time. I think that's a really great way to approach music theory instead of sitting down and just reading the notes, which is great. I don't want to judge anyone if you're just doing this, but if you're struggling a bit like I did and you're sitting there and say, okay, I want to do something different and I really want to learn music theory and I want to learn sight reading, then maybe these apps can help you. So let me know in the comments below, do you already use any of these apps I was showing you, or do you have different apps you would suggest to me that I should try them out? Are you learning music theory right now? And if so, how are you doing it? Is there even a better way instead of books and apps maybe to learn that? Let me know, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I see you in my next video.